Hey guys, this is Gary Bolton at GaryMBolton.com, and this will be our first video from the desktop. So hopefully this will work out great. We'll have a lot of fun with this, and we'll be able to get a lot of information out from future recordings. Uh, what I want to look at today is back before Christmas, I wrote a blog about a tool that I was going to give everybody or let everybody know about where anybody could put their zip code in and check the air and water quality in their neighborhood. And I was talking to a friend of mine that lives in another state, and we were talking about air and water quality, and they said, "Oh, I didn't get that. Where was that at?" So I thought, well, if they didn't get it, then maybe a lot of you didn't either. So I'm going to show you where to find it, show you how to use it, go over just a few things about it, and here we are at GaryMBolton.com. And what we need to do is first find the blog. Now, of course, this page has what's happened today. And what we want to do is go to our sitemap right here. Okay, so here we are at our sitemap. And this is not, I, I've already looked and I know that the blog that I'm referring to is not on here. But now, anytime you see any of these blue underlined text, those are always going to be links to some blog or some page. But let's go to the next page so we can hopefully find it. And I know it's under your health, and right there it is. Check your water quality. So click on check your water quality out of the sitemap, and it will bring you to this blog. And if you scroll down to the bottom under water analysis, it says today I want to give you a tool you can use to get some idea of just how bad or good your tap water is. There's a website called scorecard.com. I'm sorry, .org. So this is where I want you to click on. Click on scorecard.org and it should take you to this. Now I could spend an hour talking about all these links. All these over here are links where you can look up and learn different things about pollution and in different things. But what we're interested in is going to this zip code right here. And what I want to do first is I want to put in Atlanta zip code. And I looked this up earlier, 30301. And you click get the report. And here again, if you scroll down through here, all this is information concerning Atlanta and Fulton County. But what we want to look at for the sake of time is I want to see how this county in Atlanta stacks up against counties around the U.S. And bam, there it is. Look at that. Terrible in these six categories. Total environmental releases, Atlanta is in the top 80 to 90%. Cancer risk scores, this is air and water releases, they're in the 60 to 70% group. Non-cancer risk scores, air and water, 70 to 80. Air releases of recognized carcinogens, 90 to 100. Air releases of recognized developmental toxicants, 80 to 90, and air releases of recognized reproductive toxicants, 70 to 80. Now, 0 is the best and 100 is the worst. So you can see Atlanta and Fulton County leaves a lot to be desired. Now, you can go down through here and get a lot of information. The only other one I want to show you is, of course, this is the counties in Georgia and how they rank. But right here, if you see this where it says facilities, if you click on that, it will actually show you the facilities in Fulton County, the biggest polluters down to the smallest. And you can see Ford Motor Company is the biggest, and they put about 788,000 pounds of pollution into the environment every year. But that's terrible. Let's try another one. Let's try, how about Los Angeles? Oops, 90001. And we click go. And let's see how Los Angeles County stacks up. Whoa, talk about a toxic place. Look at that. They're in the top 90 to 100% for all these except for the cancer risk score, and they're in the top 80 to 90. Now, who wants to live there without Nikin products filtering their air and water? I certainly don't. Let's try another one. Let's go to Chicago. No, I'm sorry, Orlando, Florida, 32801. And let's see how they rank. This is Orange County. This is where Disney World is. Let's see how that county stacks up. And again, huge need for air and water filtration systems. And with Nikin, we have the best. Look at that. And again, if you wanted to go to the facilities or you wanted to check on other things, there's arsenic risk, lead, mercury. I mean, you can just go on and on and on. You could spend an hour on any of these zip codes, which of course we don't have time to do. Let's try another one. Uh, Chicago. Or did we do Chicago? We did Chicago. Okay. LA, Atlanta, Orlando. No, we didn't do Chicago. Cook County. I know that because of The Good Wife. I love that show. So let's see how good The Good Wife's air and water is. Holy smokes! The worst it gets in every category. Now, what I like to do is if I'm going into an area, I'll just look up what the zip code is on the internet, and then I'll print up some of this information to take with me. And then I have it in front of me. I'll say, look, this is what your air's like. Look, this is what your water's like. Now, if I was in Chicago, this would be like uh, fishing in a bucket. I mean, who doesn't want cleaner air and water, especially when you're in the top 90 to 100% of the nastiest air and water that there is? Let's try another one. New York City. You know, New York, it gets a lot of flack about on television. And of course, we in the South think of New York as being a big polluted city, but when you look at that. New York City is one of the cleanest. I mean, compared to Chicago, which had the worst, or LA, or Atlanta, or Orlando, New York is doing great. They still have a need for what we've got, but not as much as the others. I'm going to put one more in 30315. Now, this is my zip code. No, got it wrong. 130. Can't even remember my own zip code. 30511. Too many numbers dancing around in my head. Okay, and this is Banks County, Georgia, 30511. See how the county stacks up against all others in the U.S. And look at there. Among the cleanest in 5 of the 6 categories. And yet I still have a countertop water system in my kitchen. I have a filter, Nikin shower filter on my shower. I have a Power Pro 5 air filtration system. I have a filtration system in my car, a Nikin air filter system. And I also have the Aquapour in the gym for the weightlifters to come. And they all bring bottles in and fill their bottles up when they leave. And even though I live in one of the cleanest air and water uh, environments in the country. So, hope this helps. I mean, use this. Put your own zip code in there. Find out how your community stacks up against the rest of them. If you're a Nikin distributor and you're going out in the United States, I believe this works in Canada. Now, I don't know about The rest of the world, you'll just have to look and see if y'all have something similar in Europe and in Asia and in Latin America and South America. I just do not know. Uh, Hopefully, you do. This is a great tool. Print these things up, take it with you, show people how dirty their air and water is. They really, really have no idea. I didn't know. I had no idea how bad Atlanta was or Chicago was, especially in relation to a place like New York. So, hope this helps. Till next time, this is Gary.